Hi, I decided to be an idiot and delete all my recordings off OneDrive, and that in the process deleted all the files, or recordings at least, that I had for YouTube videos, and this was one of them. I had like half of this video recorded, including the intro and like 2 middle parts, and I was an idiot, and yeah. Hey everyone, Kane the Circle here, and I want to talk about an issue that not a lot of furries talk about in this fandom. You see some people probably talk about it on Twitter, but other than that, when it comes to Instagram, or Furfinity, or even just YouTube, or TikTok, we don't see this being talked a lot in this fandom, and I feel like it should be talked about because one, it's not healthy, and it's just a toxic thing to have in general. It doesn't matter whether it's in the fandom or not. Toxic positivity is something that is harmful. So I wanted to talk about it. So for people who don't know what toxic positivity is, toxic positivity is the belief that no matter how dire or difficult a situation is, people should maintain a positive mindset. It's a good vibe only approach to life. So why does this happen? Well, first off, this is an escape for some people, so of course we want this to be a positive environment, no matter, because this is where we go when, we're getting bullied from school, or we have a hard working day, or whatever. We go to the furry fandom, whether it be for TikTok, or for YouTube, or just furry Twitter, which honestly, if you're having a bad day, furry Twitter is not the place to go. This is what we do. We make furry art, or we make music, surrounding furry conventions, or we, get in our fursuit and make some videos and, get some nice photos. Or just, write some more pages for our story. It's where we can escape and make some stuff, and of course we want this to be a positive environment, which I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but there's some issues in our fandom where positivity just isn't the right approach. And this is also another thing I want to talk about, is that people not wanting to confront bad emotions with themselves or within the community itself. So of course, when it comes to any sort of emotion like sadness or anxiety, of course we don't want to confront this issue because this is meant to be a positive place and where nothing bad happens and everyone is just so good here, which of course leads in a very, very, very dangerous line. There's no one here guarding this fandom to know about what everyone else is doing and to keep everyone in line. They're gonna slip through the cracks, and they have slipped through the cracks, and it's an issue we don't really talk about. I mean, look at us now with the whole Kiro situation and the Don't Hug Cacti situation. Those slip through the cracks. So we should never always keep a positive attitude, especially towards these types of people. So why is this a problem in the fandom? When positivity is forced to cover up or silence the human experience, it becomes toxic. Emotions like pain, worry, heartbreak, and fear are normal and genuine aspects of being a human. Or, in fandom's case, ignores the issues in the fandom and silences those who have had a bad experience in the fandom. Unfortunately, not everyone has had a positive experience with the furry fandom. And it's important that we listen to them, especially if it's an issue that we can fix, or at least try to dial it down a little. And the one thing that I will always hate is people always trying to push that narrative that we are so positive when we kind of do nothing to help the people in need of our community, especially when we've hurt them. Whether it be fursuit makers scamming people or children who have been groomed in this community. It is something that really needs to be said and reinforced, that we will not tolerate behavior that is hurting people, because we can't tolerate that type of behavior, especially when that can cause years of trauma down the line. This kind of toxic positivity can be a form of gaslighting. Gaslighting is a manipulation tactic, intentional or otherwise, that is used to make someone question their own reality and deny their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences, and is a toxic and abusive behavior. Some examples of this in the furry community is minimizing other people's feelings about the fandom because they make you uncomfortable. Not everyone has a bad experience in the fandom. Shaming other people when they don't have a positive attitude. God, you're so negative. If you hate this fandom, why don't you just leave? You gotta get over it. They apologized. Look on the good things that we do, though. We're such a positive community. What can we do to actually help? One thing we can do is by reframing our thoughts. We should always be trying to reframe our thoughts by different perspectives, and also by and how we feel about the fandom and just in general. Because sometimes our thoughts aren't always accurate or correct because they can be fueled by emotion, and some of these things are right to have emotion in, but other times not really. Here's some actually good examples that you should say to somebody instead of what I had said previously. This will be hard to heal from, but I believe in you. It's okay to feel bad about this fandom sometimes. After all, it's not perfect. It is always something that we should always be trying to improve on in our fandom because after all, we are the ones running it. It's our fandom and we should be taking care of it and not basically littering and leaving in toxic things for our fandom, especially when it's going to affect people down the line. And I just feel like it's just something that we don't talk about very often. And another note that I just want to say is that we've all engaged in toxic positivity in one way or another, whether it involves the fandom or not. It's something that we've all done, and it's nothing really to be ashamed of, especially if you picked up on it. If this is your first time picking up on it, well then, it's all about discipline. You need to discipline your thoughts, and you pick up on what you're doing. And it's just something that, you should be doing either way. You should always be looking at yourself and self-reflecting on yourself, on your behavior, and what you can do to change, especially if someone has confronted you about it, or hell, you've confronted yourself about your behavior. It's just always something that we should always be doing in general. So, yeah, that's really all I have to say for this video. So anyway, see you guys later.